I want to introduce you to Nikolai Timkov. He's a Russian-born painter. I'm going to show you his name here so you can jot it down if you want. Uh, Born in 1912, passed away in 1993. He's a Russian painter, and I picked up a book of his back in the late 90s, and I saw the image, his imagery, and I saw this book, and what attracted me to his paintings is the simplicity. It's He's saying so much with so little, and it's a very difficult thing for an artist to do that. It definitely needs a lot of mileage, a lot of observation, and some painters can never achieve that. Not to say this is you know, there's certain painters that put more detail into a painting, and there's nothing wrong with that. But leaving things out, leaving as much out as possible, but still have the painting hold up is a difficult thing. What he's using here is he's using these darks right here as your lead in right here, this house. He kind of leads you into the painting and then kind of brings you back up to the top here. And I'm kind of just drawing with this red line so you can see where I'm pointing to. Leaving as far as detail, nothing much here. But if you really look at the painting, if we zoom in on it, you can see that there's actual texture there, and there's slight variation of values. Not not a lot of color by any means, but there's subtle value shifts and color shifts too. These subtleness that is there. So he's setting this up, and even these little lines here is bringing you into the painting. That's very important to observe. And then at the end, up here, he's kind of bringing you into the eye candy up top. He has a little bit more color in there, but there's really no white in here. I mean, if I show you white, let me do something. I want to show you something. I'm going to put white in here. This is white. Look at how far that he's painting white. I mean, how far white is. There's no, when you look at this painting, you say, oh, there's a lot of white, but really, there is no lot of white. This is just a very slight bluish mauvey tint of color. This next image, I just really love his graphic images. Really pulls you in. I mean, there's no doubt when you look at it. Let me get my red little marker back. There's no doubt that, you know, this is one of the main actors in here, and how he uses the blue and the yellow. It's a primary. Those are primary colors. He's doing that by no accident. He's really creating this energy between the tree and the background, the snow. And if I take a little sample of this and then put it right into it, look what happens to your eye. See that? All this energy happens when you put those two. They're mother colors, basically. I mean, you don't have to paint when you're listening to this. You don't have to be a painter, obviously, but just some basic understandings of you know, your three colors. Those are your mother colors, and he's playing with this beautifully. It's really poetry what he's doing in this painting. Love how he, you know, just really. Let me get my little marker back. Those trees in the background. I mean, sort of in the midground, but he's not over explaining what those are. I mean, I don't know why painters, sometimes you look at them and they want to put every leaf into the tree. When you see that in a painter, that's an untrained eye. Doesn't mean it's a bad painting. It's just an untrained eye, because Timkov is really funneling down to its essence what a tree is. He doesn't need to spell it out for you. We know it's a tree. We know it's a building, a church back here, because it has the steeples. He's giving us these signals. But again, the reason I enjoy his paintings is because of that simplicity. It's a poetic painter. And a lot of times you're just not going to see this in galleries, because a lot of times the person who's showing this will not understand it. It's a difficult thing. So that's why I do these videos, to try to explain things to you as you train your eye, as you're looking at them. Just start looking at imagery, start comparing images. There was a good saying that just because it's let's see, I'm trying to remember the saying. Loose is now how it's done, it's how it looks. Okay, I think Sandy Scott said that. She's a really good sculptor. So loose is not how it's done, it's how it looks. Another just beautiful example: patterns, patterns, patterns. Big and small patterns, bringing you in. And the patterns get smaller and smaller and flatter. He's bringing your eye in, into the painting, and then ending you up right at the beautiful greens here. Again, he's still using a very simple palette here. It's a very simple palette. It's a basic palette, what he's using here. He's not getting too fancy here. And then breaking down these shapes into these beautiful abstract elements. We know they're trees. We don't have to explain them what they are. We know they're trees and bushes. What he's showing us here, again, is the simplicity of the landscape funneled down through the artist's eye. As a collector, if you look at enough imagery, you start funneling out the things that are way over detailed, and then everybody's got their favorites. Some people like more detail, some people like less detail, but there's an underlying fundamental that's happening to, and in this instance, in Timkov's work, is simplifying the elements down. You don't need detail in order to make a good painting. It's just, you don't. There's another example. I don't know how accurate the colors are sometimes on these images, but as far as the design, he's breaking this plane right here with this. Right there. He does like to push color, so I'm sure it was a high chroma painting. And then he's using this background. If you look at how beautiful this background is with the grays. Let me try to zoom in a little bit. Look at that. Beautiful muted color against these stronger colors in the foreground. They just resonate. It's so important to look at some of these things. And because the problem is that a lot of times collectors look at subject matter over the quality of the work, and quality of work takes time to understand, just like a painter. It ain't going to happen instantly. It's going to take years and years. So I just urge you to look at more of Timkov's work. There's a lot of beauty, and let me zoom in as I'm talking. There's a lot of subtle things that are going on. Look at this down here. I mean, it's just gorgeous. It's in harmony. That's another thing too. This painting is very harmonious. Often you might see paintings that scream with color. These have color, but he's holding your eye back. He's holding you back because there's grays. There's a fair amount of grays in here too. Again, the reason I do these videos is to help you, to guide you, and try to filter out, the paintings that definitely need more work versus the ones that are more mature. I think maybe that's a good way of looking at it. So Nikolai Timkov, there's a book by him, so I'm sure Amazon or some used bookstore online has it, so try to pick one up.